I wish I recorded 5 seconds earlier. You just asked me what protagonist means. Aren't you a teacher?
Yeah, but that's just characters, and like I teach
Ma-
3rd graders.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching this episode of The Read Option. If you've learned anything about football or books from us whatsoever, please make sure to
like, subscribe, and follow.
comment and do all those things. All right. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
I forgot what I was supposed to say.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Read Option presented by Good Time Media. I'm Wyatt. That's Jenna. And we have our first ever full book review today. I do have my copy. One sec.
Hang on, my mom's calling. Hello. I'm filming with Wyatt. Can I call you back?
Does she any thoughts on the book?
I will.
Tell her to say hi.
Bye.
That's disrespectful.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, full book review. People we meet on vacation. We have finished the book. I have read this thing cover to cover. Biggest book I've
put it back here.
I've read in a long, long time. And we're going to do a full breakdown of it. So the way this episode's going to work, so obviously we still need to filter in our football talk so Jenna can learn something there. That'll be at the very end. Not too much to talk about this week, a few big moments. But we're going to break this book down kind of slowly and thoroughly. But we normally start with top fives. Because we finished this book, we're going to do top 5 characters, our own personal power rankings of the characters from this book. Do you want to go your full list and then my full list, or do you want to alternate 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? How do you want to do this?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. All right. You can go first. Who's your 5th favorite character?
My 5th favorite character is Sarah, Alex's on and off again girlfriend.
Okay. Do you think, is she 5th because she's your least favorite? Because
No.
I'm trying to think. Okay.
You're going to understand my feelings about the book as I keep going.
Okay. I was trying to is there Okay, we'll go through our list and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
And I think we're going to be somewhat similar. Number 5 on my list is Poppy.
Okay.
So she barely cracked the top 5. I don't know who would be the 6th. I get maybe Alex's dad. Alex's brother would probably be 6. I forget his name. But yeah, Poppy, just it's tough when your protagonist is 5th on the list, but she kind of deserves it. She kind of deserves it. And we'll talk more about her later, but she's 5th. Who you got at number 4?
Alex.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 4 for me, I have Rachel, Poppy's friend from New York.
Okay.
I feel like if we got any more of her, I'd like her less.
Really?
We got just the right amount, because she's a little more like my mom's a therapist, like too New York artsy. I think we got just enough of her.
Okay.
Where if we got more of her, I'd probably turn on her, but I like her right now. So let's just keep it the way it is.
Okay. Oh, my turn. Number 3 is Buck.
Who's that again?
I think that's his name. The guy that they meet on that one vacation and they stay at his house, and then Poppy like kind of hooks up with them. And
oh yeah, his name's Buck.
I was pretty sure.
That doesn't feel right, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
I think that's his name.
I can't stand that guy.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like him at all. I didn't like his vibe. He's too wishy-washy.
I thought he added something kind of interesting.
I think he's the reason I don't like Poppy as much. He was a big part of it. I just didn't like that whole. I don't know. Number 3 for me. Wait, 3, right? Yes.
Yeah.
3 is Sarah, the Alex's ex. Arguably the most normal person in this entire book. She's pretty pragmatic, straightforward, the most reasonable out of everybody.
Yeah.
The more we learned about her, I was like, she's got some points. So I thought they were gonna set it up so we hate her. Didn't hate her.
Agreed.
Who you got number 2?
Sorry, I was trying to see if I could find what that guy's name was. Number 2, I have Rachel.
Okay. All right.
I feel differently. I feel like she was kind of a breath of fresh air in the book. Like she was an influencer, but, like, didn't want that to be her job, basically just fell into
Mm,
her lap. I think I would have liked her even more had I gotten to know her. Raised by a therapist, I think that's cool. She's probably, like, level-headed and yeah.
yeah. I did appreciate her anti-influencer, like, stance that she was taking.
Mhm.
I do think it would be a little pretentious if she, like, went into more detail about that, but I like it on the surface. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Um, 2, I have, I'm gonna butcher her name. Is it Swapna?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that how
boss.
yeah, boss. Sickest boss ever.
She was
Really, I mean, she's just very on top of it, like, very forgiving. It's just a good boss. That's who you want as your boss, so,
yeah.
like her. Your number 1?
My number 1 is Poppy's parents.
Both of them? Why are they number 1?
I just really appreciated them in the book, especially at the end when she, like, went ho they just seem like loving, incredible
Mhm.
parents.
Yeah,
Supportive, you know?
that's a good point. They didn't make my list, uh, so sorry about that, but I don't hate it. Number 1 for me is Alex. I think he's the only not the only, I was gonna say that's I'm not anti this book, but if Alex isn't likable, this book, my feelings on it are very, very different. Alex is likable to for the most part, and I think there's a lot of relatable qualities there. I think Alex saves this book from being bad. So Alex is my number 1.
'Kay.
No Swapna on your list?
No, she would have been up there, and Alex's brother would have been up there. I had a hard time.
Yeah, it's tough. All right, so where we're gonna break this down, we're gonna start just broadly our best, our favorite and least favorite, the what we think are the best and worst parts of this book as a whole. So like something that when you think back of this book a year from now, you're gonna remember I like this, I didn't like this. Do you want to start with best or worst?
Worst.
Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Because I have a I'm very opinionated on this one. I
I
think
think
this
I feel like I might know what it is.
um I think the worst part of this book is Croatia.
That's mine too.
Everything led up to Croatia. There's this fight, something happened, everything went wrong here. Build, 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 build.
Yeah.
And then it's just a nothing burger. It's a letdown. And a part of it is just the way it's structured, and we'll talk about the structure of the book later. But I needed more. If you're gonna build to something this much and point to this as this inflection point of our relationship, so
Mhm.
we haven't talked for 2 years. Grow up. If that's the reason you haven't talked for 2 years, grow up. Like
Yeah.
that's not that deep. It could have been way worse. I thought it was gonna be some huge thing. I started to feel like it wasn't gonna be as big when we just never got to it and it was so late in the game.
Yeah.
Um, but it was just a letdown. The buildup was too much, and it was underwhelming. So that I think that is my low light for this book.
Mhm.
Same for
That
you,
was also my worst part of the book. It was literally supposed to be like the climax of the story, and it
but
was
it wasn't.
pathetic. It wasn't, but, like, it was absolutely pathetic. I read it and I was like, "This is what I've been waiting to find out this whole time?"
Yeah,
Like, I coulda guessed that, but she made it seem like it was gonna be something even bigger. I
it was
I
just
was I
frustrating.
was very disappointed.
Yeah, it was frustrating. Speaking of climax, what do you think the climax of this book was? Is it the airport?
Yeah,
Is it,
I would
or is it
I
the
think
when?
this is honestly kind of like a double climax because we're kind of living in 2 different timelines throughout the book.
Yeah,
So I think there's a climax to, like, the going back in the past summers, and then a climax in current day too.
you could argue the climax is going when Poppy goes to Ohio and goes to the
No,
school.
no, that's the resolution.
I I don't even know if we got a resolution there because they're like, we'll figure it out. But, anyways, all right, let's be a little more. We've been fairly negative on this book, but I don't think that's our full takeaway here. Best part of this book. What do
Um,
you think?
I think the best part of this book was when they were supposed to go on that really cool trip to, I don't remember the exact location, but then Poppy got really sick.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex was supposed to go by himself, and instead he stayed in New York and took care of her. I think it showed a lot about his character, and that was one of the reasons I loved him so much.
Agreed. That was a great scene. I also wrote down, we just spoke about it, I'm a sucker for like airport drama. I feel like that always hits. So that was good for me. And I think the best part for me overall, just the overarching theme of like vacation and how Poppy basically just uses vacation as like an escape from her problems, which is another issue I have with Poppy because she's just deflecting constantly and she still doesn't quite make up her mind. But I think that's a good concept for a book to like show all these different vacations. Like she's really not, she's just running away from her problems. That's all she's doing while vacation. She's not settling down. She's not facing anything. So I think that is a good concept and good theme that I think they touch on throughout the book. So I enjoyed that, how it kind of wrapped up and played into that quite a bit. So I thought that was solid. And then the ending. What do you think overall, before we get into grades, just how satisfied are you with the ending? How they, obviously people watching this, they've read the book, they end up together, and you're gonna have to refresh me. So they live in New York, but
they're living in New York right now, but then going home for the summer
summers.
to his house that he bought from his grandma.
Yes.
And working on like renovating that. It sounded like they were kind of trying out both locations to see where they wanted to end up.
Yeah, and she's working a new job. She quit her R&R job.
She's doing like
remote work, remote blogging.
Yeah, she's like
type.
writing a blog.
Gotcha.
Which sounded like exactly what she was doing before, but
yeah, I think that's one of my qualms with the ending. Poppy kind of just gets everything she wants.
Yeah.
And she didn't really have to give up anything.
Yeah.
She just given up like her summers a little bit. And I think the biggest issue
but
is
still just like going home to her family, like, oh boohoo.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. There's no sacrifice from Poppy.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. I am happy they ended up together. It would have been less satisfying if they just
I think it was a good resolution to the book. Like you read the book and you're like, okay, at least they ended up together.
Yeah. So I think overall solid. We're going to do grades, how I want to do it. So we'll grade the protagonists, like the main characters. We'll grade the plot. We'll grade just like the overall structure of the book. Obviously, this one's a little different than most. And then we're going to give a final score out of 100. Okay. Does that work with you? That'll work for graphics. Then people can argue. And then we can slowly build up a ranking system to compare to other scores we give to other books. So this will be good. But audience reactions. So pretty divisive book. I think people are either all in or all out on this book. Aaron said it's the best of all Emily Henry books by far, which I haven't read. What would you put number one? Or where does it rank in the Emily Henry universe?
I've read 2 other Emily Henry books, 2 popular ones, which is Happy Place and Funny Story. They're both, I think, more recent than People We Meet on Vacation.
Okay.
I liked both of them better.
Oh, so you put this third.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
I will say, like, all of her books are predictable.
Yeah.
But I just bought into the characters in the other books so much more.
I think that's the biggest issue.
I have a hard time buying into Poppy.
Yeah. Poppy is the big sore thumb of this book, where she's just not, she's so close to being likable, but she's just not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. That Emily says it's predictable in the best way possible. Sounds like that's Emily Henry, how she writes.
Can
it's
be
predictable, but you still, if you're rooting for them, you're happy.
Yeah.
Charlotte says my least favorite Emily Henry book. So getting both ends of the spectrum here. Franny says she loves this book. Shelby says reading this right now feels mediocre. I think that's where we were at 2/3 of the way through the book.
Mm-hmm.
It picked up at the end. Like it was more exciting, but there was a lull there in the middle where it's like, let's just get this going.
Yeah.
What else? And then last one, reading Emily Henry is so diva of you. So That's what's up. I'm taking that as a compliment.
Okay.
Yeah, I read. Sorry, king of the books. All right, let's give out some grades.
Okay, so are we doing each one out of 100?
No, so I was going to give a letter grade for protagonists, plot, and organization, and we can add more categories if you want. Letter grades for that, and then final score out of 100.
Okay.
If that works for
But
you.
do my letter scores have to equal out to
Ish.
average
I
out?
mean, you can't give like all A's and then give it like a 60 out of 100, or
Okay.
like it should be somewhat consistent.
Okay.
No one's gonna fact check you on that. Let's start with the protagonists, or just the main characters here. I'm including this as Alex and Poppy.
Yeah.
I personally gave it a B minus. So Alex, I like. Poppy, I obviously didn't. I think it averages out to about a B minus. So again, didn't love Poppy. Alex redeemed himself. I would have liked for both of them to work. It would have been much higher graded, but I'm gonna go with B minus there.
I'm gonna go with C plus.
Okay. Same argument there. Just
Same
no Poppy.
argument. I liked Alex, but he's not like my favorite fictional character. Like he wouldn't even crack like the top 15 probably, top 20 for me.
Yeah. Is there anything that you didn't like about Alex?
I can't really judge him for this, but I didn't really like how towards the end of the book we found out that he was just like always pining for her.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted to be like, grow a pair, dude. Like she doesn't treat you very well. Have a
Yeah.
little bit of self-respect here. I get it, but
Yeah, it was way too like floodgates are open as soon as like the balcony happens. And then he's like, "Oh, this is all I've ever wanted for my entire life." It's like,
and then he's
dude.
basically like, figure out what you want and I'll wait for you.
Yeah. It was a lot of, all right, be your own man a little bit here, Alex.
Yeah.
Have some independence there. So I agree with that. Overall plot. I gave it I the way I see the plot is I'm thinking of it chronologically. Obviously, we didn't get it chronologically, but if this played out in chronological order, decent plot. I think it gives you enough to work with. I think it builds up a story well. I gave it a B plus.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a B minus.
Okay, so I think you're a little lower on this book than I am, and it may be because I'm new. There could be a rookie score here, depending on how the rest of these books fold out. But
Yeah.
And then organization / structure / whatever you want to do. So basically, I'm talking about how they structure each chapter. It's a different summer vacation every single time. It jumps around the timeline a little bit.
Yes.
I overall disliked this strategy of hopping back and forth. I found it more frustrating than fun because once they established the fact that, hey, something big happened 2 summers ago, that's all I'm thinking about the entire book is like, we know what happens this summer. So the past, it's like flashbacks. It's like, we know they're okay. We know something, whatever. But until we got to Croatia, I was just annoyed. So I gave it a C for that.
Okay. I read quite a few of the books I read work like this.
Okay.
Like have similar organization, so it didn't bother me as much. I think it kind of goes hand in hand with the plot a little bit though, where there were some like serious lulls because of the organization. Mm-hmm. Like at some points I was like, oh great, another trip.
Yeah. It's like the one when they went to Nashville.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care.
New Orleans.
Oh my, yeah, like those when they were in the States, nothing good
where
happened.
I was just like,
there were like 3 important vacations. It was the one where they met that dude that you talked about. Where did they go? Was that up north, Vancouver?
Maybe.
I thought it was somewhere Canada.
Okay.
And then Croatia obviously was important. And
then the one where they took their significant others.
Yes, and then that one.
It's like a winery somewhere.
Yeah, even like the Denver one where they went like rafting and then he carried
Mhm.
her down the mountain.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, we get it. You guys like each other.
And
Like,
you guys go on vacation.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, there were
I
definitely
didn't give
lulls.
my rating for that, though. I'm gonna give it a B minus.
Okay, fair enough. All right, final
I feel
score.
bad because I feel like I just tore this book to shreds, and I don't mean to. I do really enjoy a lot of Emily Henry's books, but compared to all of the other books I have read in this genre, it just didn't meet my standards.
It's good. I'd rather you be honest than just say you like every book. This is what we want.
Mhm.
It'd be unfair to the audience if you were lying. So, overall score. You want me to go first or you?
You can go first.
All right. So, my first. This is setting the bar. I feel scared because this is like setting the tone for where every other book is going to fall. So, I want to hold the right to change the score later on. I am giving this book an 82 out of 100. It feels right.
Okay.
I initially, when I first finished it, I gave it an 86. After sitting with it, I bumped it down. 82 feels right for me.
Okay.
Where I don't know, like where I struggle with, I think anything above an 80, I would recommend to people. So
That's
it's right on the edge of like, I'm not gonna be like, you have to read this book, but I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, like you'll have fun with it. So I feel like an 82 right there.
Fun with it.
Yeah, I have fun with it. And
Okay.
again, could be a rookie score because I'm new to the whole reading thing.
Especially new to reading books like this.
Yeah, I've never read a book like that in my life. So I was just throwing myself in the deep end.
Yes. I'm going to go with a 79.
Okay. So we're around the same area. That's
Just below my list of recommendations.
okay. So you
If
wouldn't recommend
if
this to people?
somebody said they really wanted to read it, I'd be like, "Yeah, read it." I wouldn't be like, "Oh my
You're not
god."
gonna
I'd be like,
dissuade
"Oh my
someone
god, do
from reading it.
not waste your time."
Yeah.
I
But
would
you're
never
not
say
gonna persuade someone to read it.
no. If somebody texts me for a book recommendation, like me and my friends do that sometimes, I wouldn't send this one.
What the hell? I'm not included in that?
You just started reading.
That's true. All right. Maybe someday.
Maybe.
All right. Anything else we want to talk about with this book before we
Yeah, can we touch on the movie?
yeah, let's do it.
So ever since we talked about it the last episode and you were like, "I don't wanna know who she is. I don't wanna know anything."
Mhm.
It's been popping up all over my TikTok,
Ooh.
like videos of them filming. And you sent me one where you saw the female actress.
Yes.
And I didn't know who she was, but it seems like people are pleased with this casting.
Her name is Emily Bader.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
This is the first time I'm looking at her.
this was a
This
shot of them filming in New Orleans.
Oh.
I think Alex's outfit is perfect for
Yeah.
him. Hers,
A little too much.
that's what I thought.
I didn't
Everybody's
see
like, "Oh, this outfit's so perfect for Poppy," and I was like, "Really? I didn't think she'd be
Oh.
wearing flare jeans and 6-inch heels."
Oh, I'm so worried that I am going to absolutely despise the movie version of Poppy. And it's nothing against the actress, it's nothing against Emily. I feel like I'm also gonna go in expecting to hate her, so I'm gonna be nitpicky as hell. I'm worried. I'm worried I'm not gonna like her. Or she could surprise me and I
You should like
understand the
her
character
more.
better.
Didn't somebody comment on one of your TikToks that Emily Henry said, like, these were her 2 least favorite characters she wrote?
Yes, I saw that, which made me feel better for disliking her.
Same.
Um, I don't know if that's true, but I don't know a reason to lie. So the comment came from Harper. She said, "Pretty sure Emily Henry has described these two as her most annoying characters," or something along those lines. So if that's the case, if that was like the intention, or
I
I
don't think
doubt,
that was the intention, but I'm sure maybe looking back after writing several of
yeah,
their books, she's like, "Oh god,
it's kind of a lot.
didn't develop those characters very well."
Yeah. which I'm sure every author goes through
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Anything else about the movie? I think Tom's gonna be great in it as Alex. I knew he was cast in that.
Oh.
I knew he was cast as Alex before I started reading the book, so I had him in mind.
Yeah.
So, but I
Yeah,
think
he's
he
cute.
fits. He's
He might be
the.
too cute
You
for
think?
Alex,
Girls are gonna love him after this movie.
I'm sure.
The edits, the TikTok thirst traps are gonna be crazy when
Okay,
this
I don't
comes
know
out.
that it's like this big of a movie. It's just a Netflix movie, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
I guess sometimes Netflix movies kind of blow up though.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that movie, and then whenever that comes out, what did it say? Next 2026 February, I believe.
That seems way too long if they're filming right now. Well,
About a year for production,
okay.
post production. I
Good.
feel like that was the case, but who knows? All right, next up on our list, after putting the poll up on Instagram,
Oh,
you
yeah.
all voted. Our next book is, and I have it right here in studio. We will be reading A Total Change of Pace, which I appreciate a lot. It's keeping us fresh a little bit. We're going to be reading Shoe Dog, the Phil Knight memoir. So again, total change of pace. We're going from that, romantic drama, to memoir about the founder of Nike.
Mhm.
But I'm excited to read this. I
I am
think
too.
I'm glad you're excited
I
because
like a good memoir. It's nice. Recently, I've been switching up to some nonfiction, and I've been enjoying it.
yeah, I think I've heard nothing but good things about this book. Like
Oh,
everyone
yay.
who reads it raves about it. So
Cool.
we will start talking about this next week. We'll read a
Don't
little
tell
bit.
them how much. We'll read.
You're right. We always hold ourselves to like a high standard, but we'll read enough and we'll talk about it next week. So if anyone has a better system of how we can go about segmenting it up, let us know. But we'll read enough and talk about it, the first chunk of it next week. So I'm excited about that. Also, make sure if you guys want to suggest more books for us to read to add to the list that we can vote for next time, best way to do that and an easy way to support the show, join our Patreon. It's a much smaller group, and I will listen to those recommendations before anyone else. So I'll put the link somewhere there. You can find it, but that would be awesome. And we appreciate that as well. Let's get into some NFL stuff. Just a few headlines,
Okay, Wyatt,
because
I did not watch a single game this weekend.
which is fair. So I want.
Very honest.
Oh, wait a second. This could be fun then. Did
No.
you? No. I think this would
I
be fun for you to
know
react to.
the only thing that I know is that the Packers barely won, and that's it. Colts lost.
Okay.
That's what I know.
I'm not. This isn't a got you moment. Did you see the end of the Bears Commanders game?
Somebody's hurt,
No.
right? Oh,
No.
no.
It was okay. I'm gonna send you a video then.
Didn't like a ton of players get hurt this week though?
Not more than
Normal?
I don't
Weird.
think.
I don't know what TikTok I saw then. Is there like one team where a lot of people are hurt?
The Niners have a lot of players hurt.
Okay, I don't know.
Comes down to one last play, and it's going to be getting longer by the second. You're all the way back at the 30-yard line. Now you can step into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line, and the ball is caught! Caught! It's a miracle! It's Noah Brown! Oh, my goodness!
Oh my god.
Yeah, Hail Mary. The
Wow.
Commanders.
The way it bounced off the other people's hands right into his.
Yep. And so there's another video I need you to react to after this. But the context of this game, this was the top two draft picks from last year facing each other. So Caleb Williams, quarterback for the Bears, was the number 1 overall pick. Jaden Daniels, who threw that Hail Mary, number 2 overall pick. So this is like a big, because the Bears had the choice. Do you want Jaden Daniels? Do you want Caleb Williams? I don't think either team really regrets their decision after this game, but yeah. So now there's a little backstory to this play. there's one defender who's getting a lot of heat for how this Hail Mary ended up. I just sent you another video. So yeah,
that was totally his fault.
So that the guy who ended up scoring the touchdown was his man. The guy who was supposed to be guarding. Yeah, while he's taunting during the play.
Yikes. That's a bad look on their part.
Bad look. But yeah, that's a tough look for the Bears, tough look for him. And the Commanders. Commanders are sneaky, very, very good. It's a very good football team, and they're riding a lot of momentum right now. One of the crazier finishes you'll see in an NFL game. Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. The other thing going around the league right now, two other things I want to touch on. Biggest news this week actually came out yesterday. Anthony Richardson, the Colts quarterback, has been benched. Before I give my thoughts, what are your thoughts?
Who were they putting in instead?
Joe Flacco. 39-year-old Joe Flacco.
When did Anthony come back? Because wasn't he hurt? Because Joe had been playing for a while, and they were playing decent, better than the Colts normally, it felt like.
He had played the last two games. AR had played the last two games.
Okay.
And they decided he was so bad that they're going to bench him and bring in 39-year-old Joe Flacco.
Just saying something.
It's saying a lot.
My brother-in-law came in on Sunday and was saying, Anthony Richardson sucks.
Yeah, this is basically what happened. I mean, not just bad, historically bad. Like since 2000, the third worst quarterback completion percentage.
Since 2000?
That's 24 years.
Oh, I thought you meant.
So,
like
yes, historically bad.
2000.
But now the only issue is you're benching a healthy Anthony Richardson, which means you're saying, look, kid, you ain't cutting it. This isn't good enough.
How long's his contract?
He's got 3 more years. 2 more years with a 5th-year option, which isn't going to get picked up. I'm under the impression they are done with Anthony Richardson. Some Colts fans have said, oh, he's going to come back and start for us at some point. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can bench him when he's healthy. I get if he's injured, but if he's healthy.
Also just going to be so bitter.
Yeah, his confidence is shot. And yeah, I mean, there's no future for the Colts. And they're trying to like win now, I guess, because Joe Flacco gives them the best chance to win now. But why? There's no reason to win now because you're not going to win a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen, Colts fans.
It's going to happen now that you said that.
I'll eat my words if that happens, but it's not going to happen. And then you win games for what? Now you just don't have a quarterback because Joe Flacco is not going to play for another 4 years.
Yeah.
So they're in a very, very weird spot. Any other thoughts there?
It's okay. Alec Pierce will come out and be great.
He had a bad game. He had a very bad game, actually. Dropped a few passes. Sorry to burst that bubble for you.
He had an off day. Leave me alone.
And then the only other thing I want to talk about the NFL. Well, first of all, Colts Vikings is this week. This is my. I don't want to say Super Bowl because it doesn't matter that much to me.
Nothing to be worried about.
So that's the thing. I don't like being in this position because we're expected to win. We should win. So then if we do win, we should have like nothing. It's a lose-lose for me. We either beat Joe Flacco, congrats, or you lose to Joe Flacco. So either way, I'm kind of screwed. I just want to dominate so I can. First of all, Colts fans have been on my ass for the last 2 years.
This is in Minnesota, right?
Yep. Last time I went to Minnesota.
Here this weekend.
Is she really? Eras Tour is in Indy this weekend?
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at
You going
Lucas
to any?
Oil. No, I wish.
Um, I've been hearing nothing but AR prophecies these last 2 years. I'm surrounded by Colts fans 24/7. They draft AR. This is our guy for the future. He's coming. He's going to take down your team. Vikings stink. You only have Sam Darnold. Wah, meh, 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 meh. And now we're 5-2 and you just benched AR. So I won.
Wait, the
I'm
Vikings
dec-
lost this weekend?
we did lose. Yes. Well, it
Ew.
was Thursday Night Football to the Rams.
Mm.
But I've heard it the last 2 years, and this is my victory lap. I don't care what happens Sunday. This is my victory lap to all the Colts fans who were chirping so much. You missed. You swung for the fences and you whiffed. It happens. Figure it out. But don't come crying to me when I have a great rookie quarterback next year, JJ McCarthy, who I did the right thing. Granted, he was injured, but he sat for a year. He's going to learn and he's going to come back ready to play next year. That's what you should have done, Colts fans. Take notes. Let your young quarterback sit for a year and then come back and play. That's what we're doing. It's going to be great. Can't wait.
They wouldn't have done that on purpose.
There was a thought that JJ wasn't going to play regardless this year.
Okay.
Now, was our hand
Did
forced
he
because he
start
tore his
playing?
meniscus?
Yeah.
He played the we'll see, maybe. But anyways, I
don't think it was by choice.
I'm very much enjoying this victory lap over Colts fans because I deal with them every single day, and I was tired of hearing the AR stuff because he was never good in college, hasn't been good in the NFL. Good guy, hope he figures it out, maybe on another team. And then last thing we'll talk about the NFL, Jameis Winston, who replaced Deshaun Watson. Because Deshaun Watson, remember last week, injured, out for the year. Career probably done.
Watson.
Bad. Jameis Winston, good.
Did he play well?
He had an unbelievable game. Like
Oh,
300
awesome.
yards, 3 passing touchdowns. Beat the
Good for him.
Ravens, who is the second best team, maybe third best team in the AFC. Beat them, and then he's just a one-of-one character. He's one person in the league that everybody roots for, which is, again, the exact antithesis of Deshaun Watson, where
So
everybody
was he
roots
just
against.
the backup?
He was the backup.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he came in, balled out. So now who knows? Jameis might just go on a winning streak here, and the Browns might be fun again. But what a 180. The Browns were the most non-fun team in the world. Now they're very fun. So that's all due to
exciting.
Jameis.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah. Are you plan on watching much football this weekend?
Maybe.
Just a little bit. You still have your final boss. By week 17, you have to sit down and watch NFL Red Zone.
Oh my god, for the whole day.
Yes. You can come over. We can watch.
Week are we on?
8 hours. This is week
8 hours.
It starts at 1:00, ends by 7:30. So you have the whole 1:00 slate. That's 6.5 hours. Whole 1:00 slate, and then the whole 4:00 slate.
Okay.
That's the goal, and it's going to be hilarious content to watch you try to deal with.
Maybe like one day when I'm really hungover and can't leave the couch.
That's what we do. We just lay on the couch and watch football all day. It's the perfect Sunday. You just melt away and then talk ball. So we'll build to that. It doesn't have to be this week, doesn't have to be next week, but we'll build there. All right. Anything else? You good?
Excited to read Shoe Dog.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Talk more about Shoe Dog and more of the NFL. So see ya. Peace.